Dustin, a 35-year-old engineer, reflects on his journey with his ex-wife, Kathy, who was 32 when they divorced. The couple shares a 6-year-old son named Ron. Their relationship began through a mutual friend who introduced them, and after maintaining a connection, they started dating. 3 years later, their bond deepened, culminating in marriage, celebrated with a honeymoon in the exotic locale of Phuket, Thailand. During their honeymoon, Kathy made a seemingly innocuous remark while watching Asian men around them, questioning their size and jokingly speculating about them being smaller between the legs than the average white man. Dustin took her comments lightly, chuckling at what he thought was a silly observation. Kathy had always prioritized fitness, often spending hours at the gym. When she became pregnant with Ron, Dustin took on the role of a devoted husband, making it his mission to keep her comfortable. He cooked meals, even feeding her breakfast in bed, believing his mother's advice that a happy mother would lead to a healthy baby. Once Ron was born, the responsibilities of fatherhood hit him hard, and he understood the necessity of increasing his income to support his growing family. As time passed, when Ron turned 5, Kathy decided to focus on losing the baby weight. She began training in martial arts and, in just 2 months, lost a remarkable 20 pounds. Dustin was taken aback by her transformation. Intrigued by her success, he asked her for the secret to her weight loss. Kathy shared that martial arts training had been key to her rapid results. Motivated by her progress, Dustin decided to return to his old gym. He began training seriously and over a few months started to see improvements in his physique, although not as dramatic as Kathy's. After a while, he inquired about joining Kathy's martial arts trainer sessions. However, Kathy's trainer informed him that the class was full, leaving him feeling somewhat rejected, but he tried not to dwell on it. One day, as he was leaving the gym, the front desk lady stopped him and mentioned that a man had been looking for him. When he asked for a description, she told him it was an Asian guy with a tattoo on his neck, which he dismissed as irrelevant since he didn't recognize anyone fitting that description. Later, Kathy invited him to a Muay Thai match, offering front-row tickets. He was surprised and curious about how she had obtained such access. When they arrived, he learned that her trainer was one of the fighters, and he felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. During the match, Kathy's trainer quickly dominated his opponent, knocking him out within 15 seconds. While the fight ended, Dustin excused himself for a restroom break. Upon returning, he noticed Kathy hugging the victorious fighter. Confusion and anger bubbled within him, leading him to question why she embraced him. Kathy defended her actions, stating it was merely a congratulatory hug, but her defensiveness only fueled Dustin's frustration. After a tense night of silence between them, Dustin woke up to find Kathy missing from their bed. When he searched for her, he discovered her in the kitchen, engaged in a video call while standing naked. He overheard her say, "This is your prize for today." Upon approaching, he saw that she was filming a video intended for him as an apology for their earlier conflict. They ended up sharing an intimate moment, after which Kathy suggested they should do it more often, a comment Dustin naively believed. The next morning, feeling a renewed sense of happiness, Dustin returned to the gym. He trained hard, donning a beanie and hood for warmth. However, as he approached his car after his workout, an unsettling encounter awaited him. An unfamiliar man approached, and as he got closer, Dustin recognized him as Kathy's trainer. The trainer confronted him aggressively, declaring his love for Kathy and claiming they were intimate every day. Stunned and confused, Dustin's shock deepened when the trainer insisted he leave Kathy alone. At that moment, 2 of Dustin's gym friends appeared and inquired about the commotion. The trainer threw insults at Dustin, escalating tensions as he demanded Dustin walk away from Kathy or face violence. Caught off guard, Dustin felt a surge of protectiveness and defiance. He tried to clarify the trainer's threats, asserting that he would not back down easily. Just then, the trainer readied himself for a fight, taking off his jacket and adopting a fighting stance. The air crackled with tension as Dustin prepared to defend his honor. In that moment, he removed his cap, revealing his cauliflower ears, a testament to his own history in the ring, causing the trainer to momentarily hesitate. The incident, it was a clear indication that I needed to back off when the guy shook his head and put up his fists. I'm a former high school wrestler, standing at 6 feet 3 inches and weighing almost 260 pounds. And here was this guy, barely 150 pounds, threatening to beat me up. I shrugged off my jacket, preparing for a confrontation. He threw a punch at my face, and the impact cut my eyebrow, blood dripping down my face. "You want more?" he taunted, but by the time his sentence was over, I had executed a double-leg takedown, lifting him more than 6 feet into the air. The moment he hit the ground, it knocked the air from his lungs, leaving him gasping as if he were underwater. I picked him up again and slammed him onto the hood of his car, feeling the iron bend beneath the force. When I lifted him once more and smashed him down, he lay crumpled like a discarded piece of paper. My friends, who had witnessed the incident, assured me they would back me up if he decided to file a complaint, and they recorded the beating on video. The unfolding secrets. As the adrenaline faded, I returned home and drank a glass of water. One of my friends sent me the video of the altercation, which prompted me to search for Kathy. I asked her to sit down and told her I had a video for her. When I played it, her expression shifted from happiness to horror. Tears streamed down her face as she shouted, "Why did you beat him up?" I confronted her directly, asking why she had slept with him. Stunned, she fell silent, and I recounted the exact same words her affair partner had used when he had taunted me. Kathy began to cry, claiming that her actions were simply out of curiosity. She explained that ever since she started training under AP, she had wondered if Asian men were good or bad in bed. What started as innocent flirting spiraled into something much more serious after she accidentally kicked AP in the groin during training. After apologizing, she found herself in his office, where the flirtation escalated to sexual encounters. Kathy insisted that she loved me and that I was her one true love, begging me to view the incident as nothing more than casual sex with a random guy. I remained silent, processing her words, before making a rash decision. I called her mother and told her everything. As her mother began to cry, Kathy screamed at me, demanding to know why I had involved her mother. I told her to think of it as a joke, but I could see the panic in her eyes. Kathy fell to her knees, pleading for me to consider our son, claiming that divorce would ruin his life. I smiled coldly, asking her if she had considered our son's well-being when she was with another man. I sarcastically hoped the sex had been good, suggesting that if AP loved her, he would take her back to Thailand. I told her to pack her bags and leave my house, emphasizing that I didn't want her there when I returned. The aftermath. As I left, I instructed her not to wake our son and to be gone by the time I came back. I called my mother-in-law to inform her of the situation and my decision to divorce Kathy. Upon returning home, I found my son sleeping peacefully, and it broke my heart knowing he would have to deal with the trauma of a broken family. I curled up on the floor next to his bed, tears streaming down my face. The next morning, I met with a lawyer to discuss my options. I explained everything, showing him the video, which took him aback. He assured me that he would do everything possible to secure custody of my son. Following his advice, I submitted a formal complaint to the gym where Kathy trained. The gym responded by firing AP, who subsequently lost all his fight contracts as a result of the scandal. The video of my confrontation with the guy spread like wildfire in underground circles, further adding to my notoriety. I never spoke to Kathy again after that day. Ultimately, the court granted custody of our son to her, leaving me heartbroken. I had to give up our house as part of the alimony settlement and would be required to pay child support every month. Kathy's momentary curiosity had ruined my life and drained my bank account. I longed to leave the city behind and escape the memories, but I couldn't bear the thought of being away from my son. The idea of having to interact with Kathy again was repulsive, and I found it impossible to consider new relationships while my mind was still clouded with the pain of everything that had happened. In this turbulent period of my life, I was left to contemplate my future, and it became painfully clear that every story doesn't necessarily have a happy ending.